Yo, what's up? Welcome in everyone. Let's talk about 3 different type of vehicles that you should be listing if you wanted to start a rental car business. I've been in the game for quite a few months now and it's been an interesting journey. I have a lot of different stuff to share and I want to just be able to go out there, share with you guys my actual experience of building this business. One, it's not an easy business to be able to build. And number 2 is it does take time, but once you've built some right systems, allowed yourself to get your hands a little bit dirty, right? When it comes down to getting into the trenches, I guarantee you it's going to be something that may be worth it if you enjoy this business model. I'll give you guys something personally. I'm not into cars. I've never really been into cars. I guess I did it because it sounded fun and I'm out here in Vegas. All I say is, and if you guys watch a lot of my different videos talking about this, one of the main things I talk about when starting this business is to see if your marketplace is hot. Especially for the car rental business, Vegas is definitely popping. I've seen that there has been an influx of renters. I know when, or people that are renting their vehicle, and I know as just kind of like the years evolve, this whole like side hustle game is starting to pop off. People want to make extra income. They're starting to see the value of leveraging a business model and certain ways to make money just so they can save, invest, and to be able to grow a portfolio and not just rely on one source of income. So let's talk about the 3 different types of vehicles right now. And before I talk about those vehicles, I want you guys to understand that this may change in every type of market. I'm just kind of going across the board from what I've seen, doing a lot of research on the Turo app. And again, I do a lot of research in Vegas, okay? And based on like everyone that I'm seeing. And obviously I'll look at different marketplaces all around the nation, but mainly this is kind of like the Vegas marketplace. But in general, I think these are the top 3 cars that most people will rent out. And you can get a good bang for your buck, whether you're purchasing the vehicle or you're leasing it. Or maybe you might just have financed it whole, but whatever it is, and everyone has their different strategies. I'm not going to break down the best strategy based on the marketplace and where you're at and what you're going to get the vehicle for. I mean, there's so many different factors when it comes down to it. I'm just going more of a general sense, but if you are looking to start this business, here are the different type of models of vehicles that I would start off with, especially if you can get a good deal. And as I'm recording this and probably launching this, it's probably not the best time to purchase a vehicle. If you can get a good deal, like I said, people, you got some hookups, then yes, it may be. But in general, this is a seller's market. And what do I mean by that is the sellers are selling cars more than when they purchased it a year or 2 ago. That's how great it is to have a vehicle as an asset, especially with the chip shortage. We have no idea when those are going to be pumping up. I mean, you go to a lot of different dealerships out there and you see that the lots are pretty empty, especially when I was going on my car run in summer of 2021. A lot of the dealerships were very, very empty. They were out here scraping to try to get vehicles. So as you're going out there, this is a seller's market. If I want to sell these vehicles, I'm sure I get my bang for my buck if I can negotiate it right. There's a lot of companies out there that make their money off buying and selling vehicles. So we have this unfair advantage if you are selling vehicles. But if you can get a good deal, I would get these vehicles. The first vehicle that I would get is a Toyota. Toyota across the board. I like the Toyota Lexus. I have actually 3 Lexuses. I have my Lexus RC, the 2018. I have an '09 Lexus. I don't rent that. It's something I've had for a couple years now. I'm just about to pay that off full. And then I got a 2014 IS250 Lexus as well. And that's great for the fleet. The greatest thing about the Toyotas is obviously they last long. I love just how, I'm at Toyota Lexus out here in Las Vegas. I just really love the vibe. I love their company culture and they're actually, up on that list. And just Toyota in general, they do last long. I know all these Lexuses are going to go way over 150,000+ miles as long as you continue to just take care of it, run the oil changes, and just drive it effectively. Obviously, if you go more for like the Toyota Lexus, you're going to be able to charge a little bit more than just any, you could say, economy vehicle, right? Because there's a luxury feel. People want to be able to feel good while they're driving. And I think that's what the Toyota does in general. If you want to go for a little bit more in economy, but still be able to charge higher, I would go for a Toyota Corolla. We have a 2017 Toyota Corolla on the fleet, and it's less than 10,000 miles that I got it for, which was a crazy steal. I went to Toyota over here to get a duplicate key, and they were telling me like, man, you got a gem, especially in this market with a Toyota Corolla at that at that mileage, like this is a gem in this marketplace. And I said, yeah, it is. And obviously, because of it being a economy vehicle, people have been driving it out of state. A lot of people go to like Zion, you know, especially from Vegas. They'll go visit family in Cali, Arizona, anywhere around Utah. So they'll drive these economies around, but it's such a beautiful economy to have, to be able to charge higher. Right now we're charging anywhere on the low end from like low is like $30 anywhere to 35, 37, 39. With our Corolla, we can charge $40 to $50, 40 on the low end, 50, and we've actually had weekends because of the holidays where people are renting it for $60 a day, which is great. I'd go for the Toyota Corolla if you're going to go more economy. Toyota Lexuses, I believe in it because they're a lot easier to maintain, get parts, and to be able to, like I said, allow the longevity of these vehicles. This is my number one pick. If you can get a Toyota, whether it's the Lexus, Corolla, anything under the Toyota brand, it's something that I trust. And my dad, he is pretty much a mechanic. He has a Lexus as well. We're all about that. And I think it's going to be something that's going to give you a good top dollar price and on your daily rates, and people to justify to be able to go out and actually rent it, versus going to a basic economy or another type of, you could say, luxury type of vehicle. That's why I like the Toyota Lexus. It gives that luxury feel. So this is my number one pick if you guys are looking for vehicles out there. Number two, I've had this type of vehicle. It's the Honda Civic. You can go Accord if you want to go a little bit more luxury. I'd go for the Civic. Personally, we have a 2019 Honda Civic, and that one's renting pretty well for a brand newer Civic. It's averaging about $40. Low end, probably $35, but it's a Honda Civic. You know, not a lot of people see justify to pay a little bit higher for a Honda Civic. Mine is a lot newer. You can go out there, get like a 2014, 2015, 2016, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 miles. These things last for a long time. A lot of people rent these vehicles on the platform because they just want something reliable and something that they've driven when they were younger, right? Something that they're very, you could say, not just comfortable with, but they're very familiar with. This, they call it this familiarity bias. So I would go for the Honda. Personally, I've had 3 Hondas that I drove when I was in high school, and that's another story. So I'm very familiar with it when it comes down to actually driving it. And a lot of people have been renting our Honda. I mean, it's something, like I said, that goes from A to B, unleaded gas, you know, versus like the premium style when I was talking about the Toyota Lexus. This is something that has reliability, familiarity. A lot of people want to be comfortable when they're renting this, especially if they're taking long trips, going with family, and they just don't want to think. They want to just get from A to B. These are the type of renters that we're attracting, and they'll take care of it because they know that Hondas last long. And a lot of these people do take care of the Honda. It's a simple car. It's not something you out here trying to drive to the brim or race people with. It's just, like I said, going from A to B. If you're trying to go for economy, Honda Civic, something I get. We're getting this car pretty much booked all the time, and it's something that a lot of people are really booking. Like literally, you'll come in, a couple hours later, it gets booked again. It's a blessing. Hondas are something I would add to your fleet, and especially if you're getting started. And number 3 is Nissans. Now, there's all types of Nissans out there. I'm going to specifically talk about the Nissan Sentras, or you can talk about the Versas. They're pretty much the same as far as like the class of economies. We have a mix. I think we have 2 Versas and 2 or 3 Sentras. So we have quite a few Nissans because we got good deals on it. There was a lot of Nissans on the marketplace, lower mileage, and we just decided to go for it because of the economy, and a lot of people are booking the Nissans. They actually get this as an economy vehicle. So I would go for Nissan Sentras, Nissan Versas. All our Nissans are pretty much out there all the time. They're never really just sitting there. So I would go for a Nissan Sentra, a Nissan Versa. A lot of these people that do get the Nissans, it's kind of been, I want to say 60-40. When I say 60-40, I meant like, 40% are actually driving out of state, and then 60 are just traveling all around Vegas, getting from A to B. It might fluctuate during the season, but that's kind of been where we've been at. I mean, we've had a lot of the Nissans go out of town. Trust me, it's cool. It's cool. And But at the end of it, like I said, these cars are made to be able to go on longer trips. They're economy vehicles. These are what people want to kind of travel, and that's kind of like what it's been attracting. It's been attracting that more than the Hondas, than the Toyotas. A lot of these people are kind of like travelers. But then again, I think about it, we have way more Nissan, so I'm looking at the data at Nissans versus just our one Toyota Corolla, our one Honda Civic out there, and 5 different Nissans. It's a give or take. But I would go for a Nissan. If you guys can find these vehicles, there's been a lot of good deals out there that we found. That's why we purchased them, to be honest, and because they were just leaving. They were just getting booked in and out. I think a lot of people also, just like the Hondas, they grew up with the Nissans, Nissan Sentras, Nissan Versas back in the day. So this is another vehicle, another model that I would take on my fleet if you're just beginning and you want an economy vehicle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if this made sense, if you guys have any of these on your fleet, and how is it doing? I think especially because and how did I actually get to the point of like, RC, why would you even recommend this? I think about obviously the long term. Are these cars going to last? Because expect your car to be driven. There's going to be certain renters that will get it for like 2-3 weeks, and they're going to drive the couple thousand miles of the limit that it is, okay? So I think about longevity. I think about pricing. I think about familiarity of the amount of it getting booked. And also I think about, and that's why I put it in that order, I think about profit. I think Toyotas have the highest profit, and then you can go, and it'll range between the Honda and the Nissan. I think it just depends because the newer Hondas are looking pretty nice. Like my Honda Civic, it's renting a little bit higher than the Nissans, but my Toyota is renting higher. It's a 2017 Toyota Corolla. It's renting higher than my actual Honda Civic that is 2019. And then I have anywhere from 2015 to 2017, 2018 Nissan. So those are like the standard economy. So pricing is like the last thing I base it on. So those are the things I base this on. You guys can literally get whatever you feel. If you find, like I said, a good deal, it's worth to get any of these vehicles, any of these models. People have been asking me about the luxury play. Personally, if you're just trying to make profits, I wouldn't go the luxury play. I think the luxury vehicles are a little bit more you could say risk adverse, meaning there's a higher risk to that versus these lower models. I mean, if you're spending anywhere around 20 G's for like a vehicle, you know, versus a luxury that's anywhere from 30, 40, 50K plus, if you're just trying to get out there and learn the car rental biz and start this as a side hustle, these are the vehicles that I would start off with. So, and this is us with a 20 plus fleet out here in Las Vegas, just kind of learning, growing every day. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I am usually answering every question. If anything, you guys can just shoot me a DM, IG, my stuff, my handle is down there. And hey, like I said, I'm just learning. I'm just a student. I'm here to just pour in a lot of stuff that I'm going through, a lot of challenges, things to help people that are just getting started, because I think this is still going to be a popping business. And this next decade, I do believe in the power of the gas vehicles. I know we may be going into electric. That's a whole nother topic. Right now, if you're just trying to pay off a car note, make a few $100s plus a month per vehicle, I think this is the way to go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Tap the like. I appreciate that. Hit the sub if you guys like this kind of content. And like I said, any questions, drop them below. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.